Hello, welcome to Kellyplaybubble channel. Today I'm gonna reviewing a quick look for the books from my local library. I am borrowing some of the children's books that I thought was interesting, and maybe you wanna take a pic of the books and you can decide it if you want to borrow it or you wanna buy it. Okay, let's start. This is the first book. It is Finding Kindness by Deborah Underwood and illustrated by Iran Chan. Kindness is sometimes a cup and a card, or a ladder, a truck, and a tree, a scritch and a cuddle, a rake and a yard, a cookie, a carrot, a key. In this heartfelt picture book, kindness is celebrated in all its many forms. Finding Kindness is a child-friendly story of community, compassion, and generosity of spirit perfect for sharing. I really like the illustration and I really like the title and the theme. I thought for kindness, if it's a main topic or idea, I find it very interesting for a children's book. Okay. This is a few glimpses. And this is about Deborah Underwood. Is the author of many books for children, including Bernard's book, Ogilvy, Interstellar, Cinderella, and the New York Times bestseller The Quiet Book, and Here Comes the Easter Cat. She lives in Northern California, and you can find her work here, deborahunderwoodbooks.com, and Iran Chan is the illustrator of the Baby Love Science board book series. She is also a designer and an illustrator for children's books, games, home decor products, and more. She currently lives in Atlanta, Georgia. You can find her work at nre.net. Okay. And this is a quote from the book. It is kindness is all around. Look and see. The next book, the title is Just Because. It is illustrated by Isabel Arsenault and the author is Mac Burnett. Why is the ocean blue? What is rain? What happened to the dinosaurs? Curious minds are rewarded with curious answers in this fantastical bedtime book for dreamers who are always looking for more than the answer, just because. So I really love the theme of this book because I think a curious mind is very, very important for young girl and young boys. That's why they want to learn, because they were curious enough. That's why they want to take a step forward or for learning, for finding out what is out there, why everything makes sense, what is logical or not, because they were curious. So this book is really celebrating about that, and I think it's amazing. Okay, it's a little glimpse. Okay, and then I think about the author. It is Mark Burnett. It's the author of many books for children, including Extra Yarn, illustrated by John Classen, which won a Caldecott honor and a Boston Globe Horn Book Award. Sam and Dave Dig a Hole, also illustrated by John Classen, and President Taft is Stuck in the Bath, illustrated by Chris Van Duzen. He also writes the series McBee, Kids by Mac Burnett live in California. Isabel Arsenault has achieved international recognition for her work and won many awards, including the Governor General's Literary Literary Award 3 times. She's the creator of Alpha and the illustrator of Jane, The Fox and Me by Fanny Breath, a New York Times Book Review Best Illustrated Children's Book of the Year, as well as Captain Rosalie by Timothy de Fombley. Isabel Arsenault lives in Montreal. Okay, so it's a glimpse, and then the question of it is, why is the ocean blue? This is One of Us by Peggy Moss, illustrated by Penny Weber. Okay. You are one of us, Carmen tells Roberta on her first day at the new school. Roberta gladly sits with the rest of the straight-up hair girls until she hears they don't play on the monkey bars. Roberta loves the monkey bars and leaps at the chance to swing with the monkey bar pose until she hears they don't carry flowered lunchboxes like she does. Roberta moves from group to group, just trying to be herself, until it seems she doesn't fit in anywhere. Then Roberta discovers some kids just like her. Everyone's different, and they like it that way. So this is a book about different kind of people and how we can embrace the differences all around us and the special things between us. And about ourselves, we have to be just celebrated about who we are and why we are unique. Especially for like young girls, they were very sometimes they feel like they want to be the same like everybody else, becomes like normal, nothing embarrassing, nothing feels like you don't belong or you're just an outsider. But these books tell us we don't have to, that everyone's unique and everyone's is different, and that's okay. Okay, we have the picture of Peggy Moss. Is a mother, partner, writer, speaker, and former civil rights attorney who loves ice cream, canoe trips, and her friends. She is Canadian and also American. Peggy's award-winning children's books include Say Something and Our Friendship Rules, both published by Tilbury House. For information about school presentation or to contact Peggy, visit www.saysomethingnow.com. And this is an illustrator. It is Penny Weber. Is also a mother, wife, cat and dog lover, and artist who loves good books, hockey, and action movies. She also loves playgrounds, but prefers the swings to the monkey bars. Penny's children's book includes On My Way to School, written by the children of Tanzania and published by First Person Publishing, and Amazingly Wonderful Things, to be released in early 2011 by Raven Tree Press. Penny lives on Long Island in New York with her husband and 3 children and their cat Tiger. Please visit www.tilburyhouse.com for discussion points, classroom activities, literature links, and further resources for using this book in the classroom. Okay, this is a glimpse of the book. With humor and heart, one of us explores the stress of peer pressure and what is truly lost when we try to fit in. It's simple. A powerful message is, true friends respect what makes you who you are. This is a terrific conversation starter for parents and teachers, and a must-read for kids. By Rachel Simmons, author of Odd Girl Out and The Curse of the Good Girl. Truth sings off every page of this plucky picture book, with its generous heart and lively illustration. One of Us is easily one of my favorites. Carrie Jones, author of Need and Love and Other Uses for Duct Tape. Welcome Home by Amy Reed and Roshin Kevriye. A new baby has arrived. Welcome, welcome, welcome home. So this is a book about celebrating a newborn baby and when they first arrive home and how she adapt and how the family adapt. I love it. Because when there's a new member of the family, I think it's important, especially for their sisters or brothers, their older sisters, to adapt about their new siblings. It can be challenging, it can be exciting. It's so, it will be mixed feelings about it. And this is one of the book that we will be sorry about it, and it is important for all the family member to know that when there's a new baby come, they are still valuable for their mom and their dad, especially for their older siblings. Okay, and then this is the author. It is Amy Reed. Was a teacher of high school English, music, and special education before she began to work full-time as a writer. Her picture books include You Are My Friend, the story of Mr. Rogers and his neighborhood, and Mama's Day with Little Gray. She lives with her family in Hamilton, Ontario. And then there is Racine Gayriye, was born in Khorramshahr, Iran. She has a master's degree in graphic design and a doctorate in illustration and has illustrated more than 80 books in half a dozen languages, including Storybook, a Kirkus Review's Best Book of the Year. She was a 2017 Maori Sendak Fellow and is a lecturer at the University of Maryland. Roshin currently lives in Washington, D.C. Dr. Tat by Andrea Beatty and Pascal Lemaitre. A bum on his knee, a class full of sniffles, a principal with foot odor, and not a doctor to be found. Tat knows. Is it time to become Dr. Tat? Well, what else is a bear to do? This is a glimpse of the book. It's about a doctor. And it's good for a child that would like to be a doctor or obsessed about a doctor or like to play become a doctor. I think that's one of the books that we like. This Andrea Beatty is the author of When Giants Come to Play and Iggy Pack Architect. As a kid, she spent her days being a detective, world explorer, movie star, and spy. Now, as a children's author, she spends her day pretty much the same way. She lives in Chicago area. You can visit her online at www.threesillychicks.com or at www.andreabeatty.com. And there's Pascal Lemaitre, illustrated Tony and Slade Morrison's bestselling Who's Got Game, Three Fables, as well as many other books for children. He and his family divide their time between Brussels, Belgium, where he teaches illustration, and Brooklyn, New York. Wonder who Tat will need to be next. And this is the Minnie and Friends cookbook. I pick up some cookbook because I think it will be fun for kids or their parents to cooking together, or just find a cute little recipe, or they want to try new flavor, or their favorite foods that their favorite character is gonna cook. I love the pink in this book. It's so minis. Okay, this is a few of the recipe. I think it looks delicious. It feels like we're eating inside Disneyland. Okay. Join Minnie Mouse and all her friends for some cooking fun with easy instructions, colorful photos of each dish, and helpful tips and tricks from Minnie herself. Delicious meals are just a spoonful away. After all, no one can pull off the perfect recipe quite like Minnie can. And the recipes includes irresistible French toast. Looks yum. And then Millie and Melody's morning muffins, polka dot pizza, Daisy cupcake decorations, Pluto's baked hush puppies, sweet and sassy salad, mini magnificent meatballs, and many more. And this is the Disney Princess Cookbook. If you love princesses, you got 50 delicious recipes inside. Oh, I think this is perfect for a little girl or a boy that loves to cook. We got a few of the princess's favorites and have introductions before the recipes. I think it's amazing. We've got the index card too, glossary. Looks nice. Take one cookbook, sprinkle with magic, and just add you. From Rapunzel's frying pan eggs to Snow White's apple dumplings, this book is stuffed with yummy recipes. Simple, step-by-step instructions, tons of mouth-watering pictures, and helpful cooking tips make it easy for anyone to whip up tasty treats fit for a princess. And then the recipes include Princess baking popcorn, Tiana's baked caramel French toast, and Swaffendorf soup, scrumptious Scottish scones, Rapunzel's towering parfait, cozy cottage chicken tenders, bibbidi bobbidi boo magic wands, and many more. Tomatoes for Nila. Back to the storybook. Nila loves cooking with her Amma and writing down the recipes in her notebook. It makes her feel closer to her Patti, who lives far away in India. On Saturdays, Nila and Amma go to the green market, and today they are buying tomatoes to make Patti's famous sauce. But first, Nila needs to learn about all the different kinds of tomatoes they can pick from. And as Nila and Amma cook together, they find a way for Patti to share in both the love and the flavors of the day. Best-selling author and host of Bravo's Top Chef and Hulu's Taste the Nation, Padma Lakshmi, takes young readers on an intergenerational journey full of delicious flavors and food fun facts that celebrates a family's treasured recipe. And Caldecott honor-winning illustrator Juana Martinez, Neil brings this circle of women to life with vivid detail and warmth. Tomatoes for Nila lovingly affirms how we can connect to other cultures as well as to our own through food. There's many food around the world that we can enjoy, and it's like a little glimpse of us that we can take a peek of the cultures. And it's very different, but yet we can enjoy it at the same time. And then we can feel like we're gonna taste a little bit of their cultures on how they other people live. And then this is the story about the author and the illustrator. It is Padma Lakshmi. He's the creator and host of Hulu's Taste the Nation, as well as host and executive producer of the Emmy-winning Bravo series Top Chef. She is a best-selling author of 2 cookbooks, the Encyclopedia of Spices and Herbs, and the memoir Love, Loss, and What We Ate. Lakshmi is also co-founder of the Endometriosis Foundation of America, an artist ambassador for the ACLU, and a Goodwill ambassador for the United Nations. She lives in New York City with her daughter. Her favorite kind of tomato is a San Marzano. Visit her online at padmalakshmi.com. And then Joana Martinez Neal is a Peruvian-born daughter and granddaughter of painters. Her debut as an author-illustrator, Alma, and How She Got Her Name, was awarded a Caldecott honor and was published in Spanish as Alma y como obtuvo su nombre. Her latest author-illustrator picture book is Sonia's Rainforest. Joanna has also illustrated La Princesa and The Pea by Susan Middleton Ilya, for which she won a Pura Belpre Illustrator Award, and Fry Bread, a Native American family story by Kevin Noble Maillard, which won a Robert F. Siebert Medal. She lives in Connecticut with her family, where she cooks with lots of Roma tomatoes. Visit her online at joannamartinezneal.com. Some of my fondest memories from childhood are of cooking with the woman in my family. It is the foundation for all I have spent my life working on. With Padma Lakshmi. Fairy Science by Ashley Spires, best-selling author of The Most Magnificent Thing. All the fairies in Pixieville believes in magic, except Esther. She believes in science. When a forest tree stops growing, all the fairies are stumped, including Esther, but not for long. Esther knows that science can get to the root of the problem and its solutions. Whether you believe in fairy magic or the power of science, you will be charmed by Esther, the budding fairy scientist. This is a book for the kids that love science, and I think the science is magical too, and this book is combined the magic and the science together. I think the kids will love it. With the fairy story. We all love fairy, didn't we? Okay, so this is Ashley Spires is combined. This is the author, also she's the illustrator. So Ashley Spires is the author and illustrator of many books, including the best-selling The Most Magnificent Thing and the Binky the Space Cat series. She can usually be found making books with a cup of tea and a pile of chocolate clouds at hand. While science was never her strongest subject in school, she's a big believer that there's a scientific explanation for everything, except maybe the internet. That is obviously 100% magic. Ashley lives in Latner, British Columbia, with her husband, her dog, and far too many cats. Magic or science? Esther chooses science, even though all her fairy mates in Pixieville believes in magic. Try the sunbeam experiment in your home laboratory. Double Trouble in Walla Walla by Andrew Clements, illustrated by Salvatore Murdoka. It was an ordinary Monday morning in Walla Walla until Lulu walked up to her English teacher's desk. Mrs. Bell, I feel like a nitwit. My homework is all higgledy-piggledy. Last night it was a tip-top shape, but now it's a big mishmash. With those few words, things become not so ordinary after all. For it seems that Lulu has opened up a super duper helter-skelter word. Luckily for Lulu and the rest of the English speaking world, the school nurse has an idea about how to handle this hodgepodge of topsy turvy chit chat. Would it work? Zigzag to the jibber jabber and the yakety yak to find out. It's very colorful. I think it's like a funny book to entertain the young readers. Andrew Clements, formerly the editorial director of Picture Book Studio, said bye-bye to the hubbub and the humdrum, and now writes full-time. He lives in Westboro, Massachusetts, with his wife and their 4 boys. Salma Duka has been writing and illustrating children's books for many years, and he lives in New York City. So the book is about rhyming words too. Murdoka bled double page, lively watercolors, and on oversized pages are chock-a-block with cartoon characters and details to pour over, adding even more humor to the amusing story. Side-splitting fun. From School Library Journal. The Welcome Chair by Rosemary Wells and Jerry Pinkney. Willkommen, Baruch haba, welcome, falite, bienvenido, bienveni. When Rosemary Wells was about 10 years old, she heard a story about a rocking chair. It had been carved by her great-great-grandfather more than 100 years before. He, same Bird, had where he found work as a carpenter in a small family shop. When that family welcomed a son, Sam made a beautiful wooden chair for mother and child to rock in. He carved the German word willkommen, meaning welcome, into the chair. The family, along with Sam, moved to Wisconsin, where they settled. The chair went with them. Over time, welcome was added to the chairs panel of Sam's original rocking chair in 6 different languages. The story was inspired by an 1870 family diary written by Sam's wife, Ruth, in old spidery handwriting and duly translated by the other's grandmother. It celebrates the many different immigrant experiences of some of the people who have created the fabric of America. With luminous and loving artwork by Caldecott artist Jerry Pinkney, the Welcome Chair celebrates individual courage and the families and their stories that make up our world. A story about the immigrants. And I really love the title, The Welcome Chair. The word welcome, sometimes it is very heartwarming to hear. And it feels like we are accepted because it's like a fundamental approval that everybody's needs besides like food, water, and house. It's really important that other people feels welcome wherever they are. The illustration is amazing. I think it's gonna be a great story. And this is about the author. This Rosemary Wells is the author of more than 100 books for children, including more than 40 about the beloved bunnies, Max and Ruby, who star in their own television show on Nick Jr. Rosemary grew up in New Jersey and was an avid reader of history as a child. She has also written a number of books set in American history, including Lincoln and His Boys, Red Moon at Sharpsburg, and Mary on Horseback, which received the Christopher Award. She lives in Connecticut. Visit her online at rosemarywells.com. And Jerry Pinkney has been illustrating children's books since 1964, illustrating more than 100 titles, and earned the 2010 Caldecott Medal for his nearly worthless picture book, The Lion and the Mouse. Among his many other accolades, he has also been the recipient of 7 Caldecott Honors, 5 Coretta Scott King Awards, and 5 Coretta Scott King Honors, 5 New York Times Best Illustrated Children's Book Award, and in 2006, the Original Arts Lifetime Achievement Award. From the Society of Illustrators, J. Pinkney many acclaimed titles include John Henry, a Caldecott Honor Book, Minty, Sam and the Tigers, The Ugly Duckling, a Caldecott Honor Book, and Mirandy and the Brother Wind, a Caldecott Honor Book. He lives in Croton-on-Hudson, New York. Visit him online at jerrypinkneystudio.com. Is Your Buffalo Ready for Kindergarten? By Audrey Vernick, illustrated by Daniel Genuine. Your buffalo is growing up. He plays with friends, he shares his toys, he's smart. But is he ready for kindergarten? And is kindergarten ready for him? Is your buffalo ready for kindergarten? Is a curious look at first day of school jitters from author Audrey Vernick and illustrator Daniel Genuine. So it's a book about going back to school, especially your first day. It can be like terrifying and exciting, and we are curious about how our first day went at school. I think it will prepare kindergartner to be ready for it. Okay, this is about the author. As a child, Audrey Vernick successfully completed kindergarten, where the hardest assignment she was ever given in class was to think of a word that rhymed with her first name. She is also the author, with her sister, Ellen Glassman Guidaro, of the picture book Bark and Tim, a true story of friendship. Miss Vernick lives with her family in Ocean, New Jersey. You can visit her at www.audreyvernick.com. And the illustrator, Daniel Genuine, is a graduate both of an outdoor hiking kindergarten and of the Art Center College of Design in California. Although he does not have a buffalo, he does have a very pretty Burman cat named Emmy. Daniel lives in Frankfurt, Germany with his wife, Lenore. This is his first book. Super Student, The Buffalo. Migrant, Maxine Trottier. Pictures by Isabelle Arsenault. It is Best Illustrated Children's Book Award by the New York Times Book Review. Okay, we're gonna read a few glimpses of the book and what the book is all about. Each spring, Anna leaves her home in Mexico and travels north with her family to work on farms harvesting fruit and vegetables. Sometimes she feels like a bird flying north in the spring and south in the fall. Sometimes she feels like a jackrabbit living in an abandoned burrow as her family moves into an empty house near the fields. But most of all, she wonders what it would be like to stay in one place. The Low German speaking Mennonites from Mexico are a unique group of migrants who moved from Canada to Mexico in the 1920s and became an important part of the farming community there. But it has become increasingly difficult for them to earn a livelihood, and so they come back to Canada each year as migrant workers. And while they currently have the right to work in Canada, that right may be challenged. Working conditions are difficult for all migrant workers, most of whom have to leave families far behind and work without the rights accorded to citizens. And yet, countries like Canada and the United States benefit greatly from their labor. Beautifully written by Maxine Trottier and imaginatively illustrated by Isabelle Arsenault, this book describes what it is like to be a child in a migrant family. So this book is about an immigrant and how we can survive when we have to currently like living from one place to the others, leaving family behind, leaving all in the new ones, and adapt again in the new place, back home again. It's not easy, and it's a story. It can be challenging. I think we can learn a little bit more about what others have experiences different from us, and it's open to a whole new world again. If you want to know about the other person and what they've been overcoming to, and we can have built more compassionate and more loving environment for other people and for our kids too. Okay, and I'm gonna read about Maxine Trottier has written many award-winning children's books, including The Tiny Guide of Edwin, Canadian Library Association's Book of the Year for Children, Claire's Gift by Mr. Christie's Book Award, Sister to the Wolf, Society of School Librarians International Honor Book, and Under a Shooting Star, Geoffrey Bilson Award finalist. She was inspired to write Migrant after spending summers in Leamington, Ontario, where she encountered many Mennonites from Mexico. She lives in Newman's Cove, Newfoundland. And then Isabelle Arsenault is a fairy-tale Quebec illustrator who has garnered an impressive number of awards and international recognitions. She has illustrated several books, including Le Coeur de Monsieur Gagun, Governor General's Award, and My Letter to the World and the Other Poems. Governor General's Award finalist, Era Children's Choices, and she has won the Grand Prix for Illustration, Magazine de Quebec, for 6 years running. She lives in Montreal, Quebec. And this is a Governor General's Authority Award illustration finalist. And their comment is, a touching picture book. The sensitive offering captures a small child's experience of constant upheaval as she flies like a feather in the wind, by Booklist, and an immigrant would make a wonderful addition to any book collection for this age group to spark discussion about empathy and social justice. Highly recommended by CM Magazine. And by Kiriko's Reviews, it is a moving, inventive, and thoughtful look at the way of life many people share. The words and image could stand alone as feats of artistic excellence. Together, they form a package that should become a staple for kids learning about Canada's diverse population. Quill and Queer Stared Review. The Night World by Caldecott medalist Mordecai Gerstein. Everyone in the house is sleeping, but outside, the night world is wide awake. It's a wonderful night to explore. Perfect for bedtime, this book from Caldecott medalist Mordecai Gerstein celebrates the secrets of the night world and the joys of the sunrise. This book is a little different because it's talking about night, and the illustration is dark. It's quite dark, and that's why it is like popping in the rack of the book, and you can see right through that. Mostly like other children's book is colorful, but this one is only black and white. And I think the children is curious enough about the night world, and sometimes like mysterious, sometimes it's scary. I know like a few children feels like it is scared when it gets dark and when it's time to go to bed. Sometimes it's unsettling, and they find comfort, like maybe they want to sleep in their parents' bed, like in when they feel like nauseous, or they feel like they need some comfort from their parents. Yes, we can talk about the night world with the child and like discover more about the night world around us. I think it's interesting. Author's note. One night when I was 4, I awoke in the dark. I called to my father, "Daddy, I have to pee!" And he carried me to the bathroom, but on the way back to bed, we went through the kitchen. Out the window, where the family backyard should have been, I saw a place I'd never seen before, full of dark shadows and strange silver shapes. "Where's the backyard?" I asked. "You looking at it?" said my father. "No," I said. "That's a night world. It's not for me. I knew I would go out and explore it when I was a grown-up, but not now." The next morning, my backyard had returned to where it had always been. I've also been a great watcher of sunrises. To me, they are like watching the creation of the world. The illustrations for this book were done in acrylics, pen and ink, and colored pencil on Starmore gray art grain paper. The text and display type were set in Helvetica Note 75 bold. This book was edited by Alfini Ling and designed by Asaho Fuji. The production was supervised by Erica Squarch, and the production editor was Wendy Dobkin. Mordecai Gerstein is acclaimed illustrator of more than 45 books, many of which he also wrote, including the first drawing. His books are frequently awarded ALA notable status, and he is a three-time recipient of the New York Times Best Illustrated Book of the Year honor. In 2004, Mordecai was awarded the Caldecott Medal for The Man Who Walked Between the Towers. Mordecai lives in Western Massachusetts, and his website is mordecaigerstein.com. Visit us at lbkids.com. What secret does the night world hold? Jerry Pinkney, Little Red Riding Hood. Go see how your grandmother is faring, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said. My new little miss, she instructed, be certain to go straight there. In this inspired rendering of the classic Grimm Brothers folktale, five-time Caldecott honor-winning artist Jerry Pinkney introduced the favorite children's character to a new generation, the sly, scary wolf, and the sweet little girl in her famous rat hood. Readers will squeal with delight all over again during the most memorable scene when Little Red Riding Hood declares, "Oh, Grandmama, what great teeth you have!" Pinkney's charming, masterfully wrought illustration, as warm and cozy as Little Red Riding Hood's clock and as captivating as the clever wolf himself, are sure to lure you into the heart of this treasured tale. The illustrations looks very nice. It's a classic story about the fairy tale of Little Red Riding Hood. We all love this story. And if you want to refresh it up, you want to tell it to your children with a new great illustrator, you can. Jerry Pinkney has illustrated over 100 books for children since 1964 and is the author of numerous beloved retellings including The Little Red Hen, Noah's Ark, The Ugly Duckling, and Aesop's Fables. His paintings have been exhibited worldwide. Among his many awards and honors, Mr. Pinkney has received 4 New York Times 10 Best Illustrated Awards and has been nominated for the Hans Christian Andersen Award. He is a 5-time recipient of both the Caldecott Honor Medal and the Coretta Scott King Award. His work has always been frequently recognized on the notable books list of the American Library Association and the National Council of Social Studies. Mr. Pinkney lives with his wife, Author Gloria Jean Pinkney, in Croton-on-Hudson, New York. It's lovely. And I love how the Little Red Riding Hood is really like brightly striking in the middle of the forest and in the middle of the snow. I love this story. This is great for like the collectors of the fairy tales too. And that's all the book that I got from the library today. And I still have a few more books that I have at home. And this is the book that I buy. It's my favorite fairy tales with 8 magical stories. And if you want like a whole pack of fairy tales, it's so famous and so fun to read, to present it to your children for they to know like a classic fairy tales. This book, I think it's a good one. I love like the cute illustrator here. that you can enjoy with your child. And their content, it is like the Three Billy Goats Gruff, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Jack and the Beanstalk, Cinderella, the Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, and the Gingerbread Man. It's like perfect for bedtimes. Or you can read it in the daytime. It is nicely illustrated, colorful, tone, and the cute characters. And we got like a little questionnaire and guessing. You can guess after you read the book and after you read each of the stories. This collection contains 8 classic fairy tales to be enjoyed time and time again. Beautiful illustrations bring the favorite stories to life for you and your little ones. Fun, interactive questions are included at the end of each story. And if you love Disney, I have this 5-minute girl power stories, and it's targeted to a little girl. If you want to like raise strong girls and powerful girls, I think this one of the inspiring story, and it's only like 5 minutes. If you like need a quick story for retelling to them, and this is like a perfect book. We got a few characters like Mulan, Moana, Toy Stories, and Incredibles. You're gonna see the contents. Okay, the contents is Lilo and Stitch, Ride the Waves, Toy Story 4, Officer Mike Dimples on Duty, Moana, A Day with Moana, Mulan, Honor for Father, Aladdin, The Princess Polo Games, Minnie, The Missing Daffodils, Incredibles 2, A Day Out with Mom, The Princess and the Frog, Tiana Speaks City Sounds. This is the illustration. It's really typically Disney. And we got a few characters. Got Minnie too. Little girl should be loving it. Powerful Tales. Join your favorite Disney and Pixar girls as they embark on new adventures. Ride the waves with Lilo, play hide and seek with Moana, and much more. Each story in this collection is ideal for reading aloud in just 5 minutes. A perfect fit for bedtime, story time, or any time. And these book sections, it is the books that I got from school district before my daughter went to kindergarten. And I think this book is really prepare her for first day in the kindergarten, because this is like the first time she goes to the public school, and she feels frightened and uneasy at times. So this books is really comforter, so it's like personal books for me too. One of it is like Rita and Ralph's Rotten Day, and a few books it's really directed to the kindergartner and the first day of kindergarten, and like a few books is not. It's just like a storybook, like this Rita and Ralph's Rotten Day. It is like the book about a bad day and how they handle it. Rita and Ralph's Rotten Day by Carmen Aguadidi and Pete Oswald by Scholastic. I really like this book. The page looks interesting. The cutting of this book is like a landscape, and it's half purpose because the page and the size of this book is really connected to the story, like this, like down the hill and up the hill and down the hill and up the hill, and it's really resonates about the houses and the hills between there. Rita's and Ralph, like between their houses, and the landscape of the book is really interesting. You should write it. You should read it for yourself. Have you ever been really mad at your best friend? And it's like the feel-good book too. I really suggest that you all read it, and then I would like to reread the storybook again. This book is The Carry Me I Want to Be by Mary Palermo, illustrated by Emma Randall. Okay, this is the illustration. It's really cute. It's awesome. And the book is all about how we should be kind and care about others, about our friends, wherever we are, even we're at school, at home. It's really teach about like kindness, and it's really important that we have like empathy and we really care about others. Being kind not only spreads good, it also feels great. Yet sometimes we don't know how to be kind in the moment. In this sweet rhyming story, a child shares how she tries to practice kindness every day. Chrysanthemum by Kevin Henkes. And my daughter really loved this book, Chrysanthemum, because it's really telling about the story when we go to school, like the first day, and how the name Chrysanthemum that this mouse have. And how her friends interacted to her name and to her. My daughter is like mesmerized by this book. And on the next day she wants me to reread this book again. Epilogue. And this is the the end of the book. I love this book. This is like one of my favorites. Chrysanthemum. The Kissing Hand by Audrey Penn. Illustrations by Ruth E. Harper and Nancy M. Leake. Forward. The Kissing Hand is a story for any child who confronts a difficult situation, and for the child within each of us who sometimes needs reassurance. Its gentle text and vibrant illustrations reminded me of the classic children's book I enjoyed with my own children, and left me with the warm, wonderful feeling that is the test of a true children's classic. Even before this book was considered for publication by the Child Welfare League of America, Audrey Penn had presented her story to children in schools, libraries, and children's hospitals. I'm delighted that now it can reach a wider audience and enable people to face many kinds of challenges with the confidence to cope. A child entering a new school or going away to camp, a child entering foster care or residential care, a child facing a temporary separation from loved ones or the death of a parent, grandparent, or other special person. Even a fearful adult will find reassurance in this page. Parents and others who care for children will find an unforgettable way of communicating the message that all of us most need to hear. You are loved. As like it says in the foreword, really, I feel like this book is magic. When the little kids don't know how to cope with separations and anxiety, like like that when we lost someone we love and or we have to separate it in a time or in a days that the most special person, this kissing hand trick can really warm in the heart of the little ones or their mother, that they know that wherever they are, even when they are not near the person they love, but their love will always guide them, will always be there for them, and will be there when they come back. And it's really a feel-good story about it. This is really good for us child with separation anxiety. So that anxiety can be eased a little bit. When Barely Worried by Kevin Henkes. Okay, this is the illustrations. This book is perfect for a child who is like always worried, even if it does not make sense. Like if why the skies will be falling down, why if this, why if that, why if all the questions and all the worry, all the fear inside their head, that they don't know how to cope with it and they don't know how to handle it. This book is perfect for them, for their mental health and how to ease that worry. On the First Day of Kindergarten by Tish Ray, pictures by Laura Hughes. This is a book about the first day of kindergarten and like what it looks like, what to expect for the kindergartner. I really like the illustration of this book. So the little child have some pictures about what will kindergarten look like and how fun they are. On the first day of kindergarten, I thought it was so cool. Count 12, exciting first of kindergarten.